Pelham Panther fans, it's time for Panther Pulse, brought to you by Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill and Joseph Chambers, your State Farm insurance agent in Pelham. Now live from Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill in the Pelham Town Center, here's the voice of the Pelham Panthers, Justin Foster.
And the barbecue tastes just a little sweeter after a victory. So tonight, Panthers, we shall dine and dine well. Good evening, everybody. It is the Panther Pulse live from Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill. I am Justin Foster, joined alongside Pelham alum and my co-host, Caleb Turrentine. Caleb, how are you doing? Welcome aboard, and great to have you with us.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Glad to be here. Hate that I missed Friday night. Sounds like it was a lot of fun.
Well, you missed some fireworks, and we will go over all of that here shortly. We have a great show for you tonight, brought to you by Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill, as well as Joseph Chambers, your State Farm insurance agent. We have our usual weekly chat with Coach Causey. We also catch up with band director Justin Ward, as well as Xavier Glaze. Jean Coker stopping by with several of her cheerleaders. And as always, we have several key players from Friday night's game. And Friday night's game was a good one. If you're a Pelham Panther fan, a 42-6 victory over Mortimer Jordan. We bring in, as always, Coach Tom Causey joining us now. And, Coach, congratulations on the win, and how you doing tonight?
Thank you, man. Doing well. Excited to be here.
So really a lot to celebrate on Friday night as far as all facets of the game, a complete game, 35-0 at halftime, 42-6 final. Your impressions just generally about Friday night?
Well, I thought we played extremely hard. I didn't think we played real clean. The game last year, I think we talked about it last weekend here, but last year there was no punts in the game and not many penalties. And there was a couple of turnovers. There was missed tackles, missed assignments. It really wasn't clean, but I thought our guys played extremely hard. And, our young guys played hard in the second half. And we got an opportunity to get some guys in the game and play a lot of snaps, and I think we played just about everybody we had, and that's always a plus because you know as well as I do when this season gets to rolling, there's a lot of Friday nights that that's not the case, and so we hadn't been able to do that a whole lot since I've been at Pelham, and it was really good to be able to do that. I'm proud of our effort. Still got a lot of stuff to clean up, just like everybody in America does after that first game.
You mentioned last year's game. You still started 1-0 last year. Does 1-0 after a bigger win like that, does it feel different than 1-0 did last year?
It doesn't. Honestly, we went over to Mortimer Jordan last night and played a JV game, and one of my best friends on the planet, Dusty Good, who's the former head coach there, I told him it felt like it'd been a month since we played, and it was 2 or 3 days. You get in such a habit of just that's over. Saturday morning you take about an hour and a half, 2 hours to break the film down, our film, and then you really don't think about it again. That's so true, and so it doesn't feel any different. I know what we got facing and staring down the barrel at this week, and that'll bring you back down to earth real quick when you got to face who we got to face this Friday.
So how do you balance that side of win and leave it aside, but also try to carry momentum from a 42-6 win?
Well, I think that's done. The attitude and the bounce in your step when you come to practice on Monday, there's a different, that we talk to the kids about all the time. When you win on Saturday morning, your mama's going to make your favorite breakfast for you. Everything's going to taste a lot better. You're going to get to sleep in a little bit more. Everything just feels a little bit better. So that's no different on Monday when they come back in the building to go to work. You're a little bit lighter on your feet, and you slept a little better all weekend long, or I do. And I think everybody it's not pressure off of you. It's a feeling of job well done. No different when you go to work in your yard and you have a task to go complete. When you complete it, you feel pretty good about it. Well, it's no different. We all do that. We all crave that and seek that. So I think that makes it a little easier coming in on Monday for sure.
You also know when you finish one of those jobs, there's a lot left to do, and
sure.
So you turn your attention to that. So first drive of the game, a little shaky. Fumbled handoff, first play of the game.
Well, and, we're running the jet right there, and we're tossing it forward, but we never actually had control of it to pass it. And that's the reason why everybody in America does that. It's not to pad the quarterback's passing stats. It's to catch it, and it's a forward pass. And Will kind of tapped it instead of catching it and pitching it, so it is a fumble. And it reminded me a lot of last year in this game this week, Oak Mountain game. We started the game the same way. ball on the ground, mishandle this, missed assignment, and we're punting. And what was different was the second drive, man, we go right down the field and score.
Well, I was about to say the focus on that second drive, complete 180. Was there anything you noticed from the guys?
No, I don't think it was a lack of focus in that first drive. We're still 15 to 18-year-old kids, and we had a couple bad plays, and some of that's more majority getting after our tail too, and our guys kind of settled back in, and I think that's a sign of our maturity. And it happened to us last year in the Oak Mountain game. We go the first 5 or 6 series, and I don't even know if we got a first down. And our guys kept playing, and Dylan broke a long run, got us going, and, we go in at halftime 7-7. So I think that's just a sign of our maturity, that second drive coming back out. Defense never panicked, kept doing what they were doing.
And we mentioned this last week. We talked about the number of guys you'll have that can make plays in that offense. And I know that's the style of offense you want to run, is getting into so many different guys. How much of a difference did that make in this game against Warrenburg Durham?
Well, now I think that's always big. When that ball's touching a lot of guys' hands, and we got some guys who have the ability to make plays, and when you can spread the ball all across the field, I think it puts tremendous pressure on the defense. And I thought our, not necessarily our plan, but Will did a great job distributing the ball to different guys, and not forcing it. And so try to take what the defense gives you. And when our guys get the opportunity to get the ball in their hands, they're good enough that they can make plays. Whether that's a 15 to 20-yard play or a big play with a 68-yard punt return, whatever that is, get the ball in them guys' hands, let them play.
Gaten Rella, Trey Corkle with 2 touchdowns. A lot of guys that – really breaking out. Darius Copeland's going to do what Darius does, 2 touchdowns, really efficient in making big plays. Just talk about your playmakers and guys coming out.
The style of offense we play is really designed to do that. Everybody should, and balance the thing out, and guys are making plays. Next week it may be somebody else, but that position or that it's just really you call a play based off of what you're seeing on the defense, and you expect the guys that are in there to make plays. I think we've gotten better out there on our entire offense and defense, but I think we've gotten better on offense where who's in the game doesn't matter nearly as much as what we're calling. I'm not saying anything about our teams in the past, but I've coached at a lot of places, and a lot of times when you're on the field and a lot of seasons, it's been, well, we don't need to run that here. We can run that. Well, whoever we got in the game, we're going to run it. We're not. Those guys are good football players, and they've played a lot of snaps, and we trust them.
You talked about the number of guys you got into the game. That's always fun to see. When you're on the sideline, you have your starters out. They're probably a little bit more relaxed. But how much fun is it when they see guys who, they might not have expected to get into the game, get into some snaps?
Yeah, Nicholas Bamberg made a play on the sidelines, and he's a junior defensive back, and Bam Bam made a play on the sidelines, and I love seeing our boundary go crazy when that happens. And, guys get in the game, make plays that – I think it's a thing of a sign of respect when our older guys are excited for some of our young guys when they make those plays, and that's what we're trying to build. It doesn't matter 1 through 99. Everybody carries the same weight. Now, not everybody is blessed with the same ability, but everybody has to carry the same weight, and I think that's a testament to the character of our players.
Talk a little bit about the defense. A lot of players have said to me, "Oh, the defense, just watch out. They're going to take another step." And they really seem to on Friday. Just talk about their performance.
Well, I think our Coach Talbot and our defensive staff do a really good job of helping our guys understand where the deficiency is. Every defense has one, right? Everything has a spot that is your void. You just can't. So I think they do a great job of teaching that, and I think our kids do a great job of playing to that. And then they play extremely hard. I told Coach Talbot Sunday morning I thought that the defense ran really hard to the ball. And that's always a plus. And a lot of times we had mistakes. When I talk about cleaning things up, and the alignment may not have been correct, or the technique may not have been correct, but they played so hard that it kind of overcome it. And you can do that on defense, and that's why that old saying's always been true. Typically early in the year, the defense is ahead of the offense. Well, if you can out-effort people on defense, you can make plays. And I think that's what they do a really, really good job of.
And no matter how good the defense played and who was on the field at the time or how late that touchdown came, from a coaching's perspective, just missing out on that shutout can cause some frustration. Is that a motivational point this week?
Well, I think as always, I think any player that's on the field on defense doesn't want to give up a score. And that group of guys that were on the field at that point made them earn it, man. It was 4th and goal from the 4 when they scored. And, there was their ones in there, and that guy made a play. And You can see it in their eyes. They don't want to give up points. I mean, I don't care if we win 42-41. The idea is to win, but there's never going to be a defensive player on the planet that wants to. It's okay with giving up points. So that'll be something for our guys to work on this week and get better at.
Well, a lot to love about that one, and we will preview Friday's matchup with Oak Mountain. For now, we will head to break. When we get back, Band Director Justin Ward joins us, as well as Xavier Glaze. That is coming up right here on the Panther Pulse, live from Golden Rule Barbecue.
It's easy to trust a business that's got good history. Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill has been cooking up good eats since 1891, when the first Golden Rule opened up in Irondale. Golden Rule has been one of Pelham's most popular go-to spots since 1980. Whether you want a pork sandwich, slab of ribs, or a feast tailor-made for tailgating, Golden Rule is ready to serve. Good food with a good history. Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill in the Pelham Town Center, just a few doors down from Publix.
State Farm Insurance Agent Joseph Chambers is a proud supporter of 93.3 The River and all things Pelham. Joseph and his staff can take care of your home and auto insurance needs, as well as life insurance. State Farm was recently ranked number 1 by J.D. Power and Associates for life insurance customer satisfaction. Joseph's office is located in the Canyon Park Office Center. His number is 205-663-3276. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Sponsored by LDOT, ABA, and this station.
There are many important issues in Alabama today, and none are more important than ensuring our children have loving, nurturing families to care for them. There are more than 6,000 foster children in Alabama who need you to be the difference in their lives. So please join our team for foster children. Open your heart and open your home. Become an Alabama foster or adoptive family. Call 1-866-4-AL-KIDS and become the change in a child's life.
Sponsored by the Alabama DHR, the ABA, and this station.
And back here from Golden Rule Barbecue, it is the Panther Pulse, brought to you by Golden Rule, as well as Joseph Chambers, your State Farm insurance agent, Justin Foster, Caleb Turrentine, back here. Joined now by Band Director Justin Ward and Drum Major Xavier Glaze. Gentlemen, welcome to the Pulse. How are we doing tonight?
We're doing well. Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
I know, we're cutting into practice time. You guys doing the evening practice, so a special thank you for that. But just tell us a little bit. We got to see the halftime show on Friday. Just sort of walk us through that and maybe highlights to you guys in preparing that and showing it to the people.
Absolutely. So, as always, our shows are kind of a work in progress. It takes us pretty much all the way from the start to the end to kind of get everything together. It's an ongoing process. So we kind of saw just the first glimpse of that this past week. The show this year is entitled Crossroads. So we got everything from music by John Lennon to Post Malone to U2, lots of different things in between as well. So
no Clapton?
No Clapton,
okay.
Unfortunately. I pitched that idea, and unfortunately no one bought on it. They're like, no, we don't need to do that. I said, hey, we got to do Crossroads, though.
Xavier, do you have a favorite song from this year's show?
Ooh. I think the Post Malone, you'll get that in part 4. You'll have to wait for a few weeks, but the Post Malone show coming in a few weeks, that's got to be my favorite.
That's a good plug right there. He knows to keep the people waiting. He knows what to do here.
Yeah, you're not beating, Clapton's not beating Post Malone with the high school
I don't
kids.
think
It's
so.
just not
No,
happening.
definitely
So
not.
you say it's a work in progress. What's the progression like throughout the season, from week 1 to what we see week 1 to week 10, 11, and even beyond?
Yeah, we actually, what we do as a staff is we develop what's called a production schedule. And so we look at where we need to be when, particularly in relation to our competition schedule, what we want on the field at a certain time. Then we kind of just work backwards what we're going to teach throughout the season and what we're going to layer in. So first of all, it's we can't teach it all at the beginning because it's fairly complex. But the other part of that is my philosophy is we just want the audience to see something different every single week. A lot of bands, you'll see them start out, they have every single thing on the field. You're going to watch them in week 1. Week 10 is going to be exactly the same thing. We like to kind of build and kind of add the suspense to everything we're doing so that everyone gets a different experience every single week and you see something different.
Now, for my history at Pelham, things have changed over the past decade, I'm sure, but I know that Pelham had a huge loyalty from their fan base with the band. Does that come with pressure, more pressure, or is that more fun to see that that side of things where you're being supported by a big fan base?
And you used the word I was going to use. I don't really think of it as pressure. I think we have expectations for everything we do at Pelham. I think Coach Causey, the football players, all of our athletic department, and our band department, no different. We have expectations for doing things at a high level, the Pelham way. But we also have great support with that as well. And so we obviously want to really make sure that support is the best that it can be and make sure that everyone's getting a return on their investment for what they're putting in the students. So expectations do come with that, but the support is there as well, and that's what's made us have a very successful program for our students and our community.
I know we talked about COVID endlessly, but I've got to ask this. As far as preparation in this summer, we get the Delta variant, which just kind of throws a curveball for all of us. How was the preparation this summer maybe different from last summer? And this is really a question for both of you, Xavier, as well. And what's that look like, and how has the focus kind of shifted throughout all of the changes in the roller coasters?
Yeah, Xavier, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, I think last year we started off super strict. We really didn't know what we were dealing with, so we had to be obviously safety first, right? Last year, Mr. Ward and all of the other staff were just full on make sure that we can get through the season, and it's not as much about get a show out, it's make sure our kids are safe. So last year was definitely a lot more strict. This year, now that we know what we're doing, we've got more kids vaccinated, stuff like that. We can, focus more on a show, making sure that we're still safe, and it has loosened up a little bit and allowed us to focus more on the show.
Do you get to add in maybe more complex details to your show when you have more time like that?
Absolutely, we do. So we went back to having a normal preseason camp as far as the time commitment. Last year, when we talked, we said we had to layer and bring in groups at different times. But this year, we were able to bring in everybody pretty much at once and start to kind of, instead of adding them in as we go. But the preparation and the goals have really been the same. We've told the students from the very beginning, no matter what's happening, our goal is always to give you the best possible experience and to keep you safe. So whatever those conditions are, whatever they are now, whatever they were a month ago, whatever they're going to be in 2 months, our mission really remains the same. We'll remain flexible. We'll adapt what we have to do to make sure that those two missions are accomplished. And I think the big thing about this year is most band programs have seen that their enrollment and participation has really dropped. Somehow, some way, we are our biggest band we've been since the school split 8 years ago. So we have 160 members, about 16% of the student body at Pelham High School is in the band this year. And so we got significantly bigger and grew, which tells me that I think we took a healthy approach to what we did last year, and we're just continuing that this year to make sure that we continue moving forward.
So Xavier, with all of that, kind of just talk about what it means to be able to have a show and to have the experience, band camp, all of these things that in the moment you're kind of grumbling about. It's kind of tough, but you look back on fondly. How important is it just to have those experiences on top of all the performances?
In an odd way, it's like nostalgic because first season I had a mostly normal season, right? And then you move on next year and it's all just destroyed basically, right? Not completely done to dust, but it's not what it was. And then this year we get to go back and get back to doing the thing, right? As we say, we just say it's getting back out there and being able to put on a show for the crowd.
Yeah, and last time you were into the normal show last year, like you said, it wasn't as normal. Things were weird freshman year, and then all of a sudden now you're a drum major. Did you expect that kind of journey for yourself?
Oddly enough, freshman year I overthink, right? So I plan out everything, right? I say, you know what, I'm going to try out for drum major for my sophomore season so I know that I can at least get in for junior and senior. Mr. Ward says, nope, get up on the podium. Yep. And I was a drum major last year with Allie Kate and Macy Johnson and Jade Henderson, which unfortunately couldn't participate last year, but this year is back in. and now I'm up in head position for my junior year.
So you guys are very active in competitions and stuff. I know COVID kind of shut a lot of that down. Could we just talk about some competition stuff coming up and maybe ways folks in Pelham can come out and support?
Yeah, absolutely. Our first competition as of now is on September 18th. It's actually in Atlanta, in Powder Springs, Georgia. And then we've got another competition, a local show in Trussville on October 9th. So some people our friends and family can travel out there to that. And then we've got another show at Jacksonville State University on October 16th. But the one that, as of now, everything's still on schedule to do it. We'll be hosting the Alabama State Marching Championship as we did 2 years ago. That was a really cool event. We had almost 6,000 people in the stadium that night, packed out for marching band, had huge groups. We had another site at Hoover with other bands as well. So we will be hosting that again in Pelham, and so that's an opportunity for people to come out and not only support our band, but bands throughout the state. So we're just honored and privileged to be able to host that again.
Well, thanks for taking some time to come out and chat with us. I know y'all got practice to get back to, so we're just thankful y'all could come and share the stories about band and getting back to somewhat normal. Xavier Glaze, Justin Ward, thanks so much for joining us. When we come back, we chat with several key players from Friday's big victory. That is coming up right here from Golden Rule. You are listening to the Panther Pulse on 93.3 The River.
If you call yourself Golden Rule, you've created high expectations for yourself. Each day, the folks at Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill want to make your dining experience one they'd enjoy as well. That means a hello when you walk in the door, service with a smile, and delicious food made to order. Their pit-cooked barbecue is aimed to give you that homemade feeling. Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill, serving up good eats in Alabama since 1891 and ready to serve you in the Pelham Town Center, just a few doors down from Publix.
9,997. No.
Suppose Thomas Edison had given up.
9,998.
But his failures only led him to the next idea.
9,999.
Picture Times Square, dim, Las Vegas dark, your home black. Picture no electric light.
10,000. Come on.
Optimism, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
State Farm Insurance Agent Joseph Chambers is a proud supporter of 93.3 The River and all things Pelham. Joseph and his staff can take care of your home and auto insurance needs, as well as life insurance. State Farm was recently ranked number 1 by J.D. Power and Associates for life insurance customer satisfaction. Joseph's office is located in the Canyon Park Office Center. His number is 205-663-3276. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
Singer Percy Sledge was one of the most identifiable voices in the genre of country soul, which emerged from Muscle Shoals in the mid-1960s. In 1966, Sledge recorded his most iconic song, When a Man Loves a Woman. The song topped Billboard's Top 100 for 16 weeks. Percy Sledge's career spanned 5 decades. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2005.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
And welcome back to Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill. It is the Panther Pulse every Tuesday night during football season. Joined now by 3 gentlemen from the football team, 3 great guys. I know this is going to be a lot of fun. BJ Maxina, Park Pruitt, and Jalen Tate joining us now. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing good today. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. Great to have you guys with us. And we'll play a little hot potato with the mic since we get you guys all in. I want to start with BJ. Dominating performance up front, really set the tone for the team.
Yes, sir.
Talk about you guys' performance against Mortimer Jordan.
Man, we just came out and we just did our thing, man. We ain't we ain't take a foot off the brake, man. And we just took off. Even second half, we just went out there, kept going straight. Hey, we just went straight. That's all, man.
You know I'm a basketball guy.
Hey, I know.
And you get in the zone, you can't miss. Is there a similar type of feeling for an offensive lineman where you just feel like I'm in control and you're feeling yourself and you're feeling the group?
Yeah, because, like, the offensive line, we the leaders, basically, of the team, man. We got to basically put everybody on our back, like, because we set the tone up front. And if we're not straight, ain't nobody else going to be straight. So that's it, really.
You got a bunch of different guys behind y'all on the offensive line who touched the ball on Friday night.
Yes, sir.
How much fun is it when you can look up and you don't know who's going to have the ball one play over the next?
Man, it's crazy because we got a lot of talent. We got like a lot of people. We got a lot of kids that are playmakers. That can, hey, when you pass on the ball, they can get in space, do anything with the ball. You know, they just playmakers. That's it, really.
Several new guys played a significant role up front. How'd you feel about that and those guys kind of stepping in and taking the role?
I like to see that because, like, we've been practicing, we've been grinding, and it's nice to see people come in and, like, step in and just so that we don't have, like, that one guy, those two guys. We got multiple guys that can do the multiple roles and stuff like that, so that's it, really.
We're making sure they're eating good tonight, so ready to roll for Oak Mountain. Jalen, let's talk about your game, big showing on Friday. Talk us through the interception. I really do feel like that was kind of a key moment and really shifted momentum, and we were able to kind of pull away after that. But, how'd that feel, and how's that going to carry over to Oak Mountain?
That felt very good. I think I was going to carry over to Oak Mountain, just really setting the tone. I wanted to send the message that when you play Pelham football, when you play our defense, that nothing's going to be easy. You're going to have to earn for everything, deep ball, run. I just wanted to set the tone. I felt like when I did that, I could get my teammates in the game, and we just took it from there.
Was there a point in that game where y'all really felt like y'all were in control? I mean, did it happen early when y'all thought y'all were really going to have a good game?
Definitely when we're in control. Definitely with that pick, I felt like I knew that we had the momentum, and going into halftime, we're just preaching to just don't take the foot off the gas because, the teams will come back, and if we get too lazy, that they'll come back and beat us. But it was all gas, no break, all gas.
How much motivation? I know there's a second one you kind of – and that one may bug you more than the good one.
Oh, yes, sir.
You feel like you left on the field. What does that do, and how hungry does that make you for the next one?
Oh, it just makes me very hungry. I think if I can get an interception or any of our guys, that really can transform the game and just really, shift the momentum. And when I dropped that second pick, man, it just, I was mad, but hey, can't get them all.
We got Parker in here now with us, and Parker, from your vantage point, you guys are seniors now, different vibe. How do you think this defense has grown and maybe y'all's leadership roles now as seniors?
Our leadership has been amazing. We've had guys playing in the same role for at least 2 years now, and that's really good. So,
are there any specific goals you guys have kind of voiced in? It may be more general stuff, but things you have as a group that you're looking to accomplish here and leave your mark on the hill?
I would just say I don't want to be first-round exit this year for the playoffs at all. I want to go deep into the playoffs, even state championship level, and win it. I want that ring.
I could definitely say staying consistent. That's just the big thing. Just consistently winning, consistently in offense, defense, special teams, all parts of the field. I feel like if we can stay consistent, that'll really take us very far this year into the 6A football playoffs and maybe a chance to play for the championship.
And before we start switching up microphones again, when I got the two secondary guys on here, I know y'all got some depth in that secondary.
Yes, sir, we do.
How much fun is it in practice when y'all are competing and trying to, one-up each other? How much more fun does that make it when you have so many guys that can play?
It's exciting, man. Just to see guys going at it and all the drills, just competing and everybody holding each other to a very high standard, I feel like it just really makes us get better day in and day out.
Talk a little bit about the Oak Mountain game. I know, as far as region implications, not a lot on the line, but certainly just setting the tone for the season. Last year it was one, came down to the wire. I know we felt like we, really had every chance to win that game. What does this rivalry mean to you guys and knowing a lot of the guys over at that school?
It means a lot to me. I know the past 2 years they have beat us. So, it really means a lot to me to go out my last year and get a victory against them. I know they have some talented guys and we have some talented guys. So I'm really looking forward to coming out victorious Friday night.
Yeah, basically what Jalen said, like, and it's stepped on our necks like 2 years straight, man. This is our time for like revenge, real talk, like. And so it's just our time to step it up for real and just show that Pelham like we here and like we ain't the lavish start no more. That's what we're gonna show.
Talking to an offensive line guy, this is a game that's very physical up front. I mean, how you feeling? You having a second helping of barbecue tonight, or what to get ready for that one?
Hey man, just staying hydrated, getting ready, just getting all the young guys and all the older guys together, banding together, because you never know when somebody gonna be up, man. You never know when somebody can go down, and you gotta prepare to come in the game. So it's like everybody has to be ready. It's not just me, it's like everybody, and I'm just trying to get everybody like on the same page and stuff like that.
Jalen, speaking of this Oak Mountain game, it's not trying to hide the names anymore of these guys. Everyone knows who's going to line up at quarterback for them next week. Does that make more exciting when you get to go up a guy who is going to play Big Ten football next year?
Definitely makes me excited. I feel like he's a very talented player, and we have a very talented defense. And what we've seen the last 2 years, I think is going to be what I'm expecting from the last 2 years. I'm really expecting to go out, and we're expecting as a defense to put pressure on him and to keep him in the pocket and to show us his abilities to throw.
If he gets loose, can you run him down?
Oh, yes, sir.
Love the confidence.
Yes,
Gentlemen,
sir.
thanks so much for joining us. Look forward to more fireworks on Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We got the full Friday night experience tonight. We've had the band, we got football, and coming up, we chat with Jean Coker and several of her cheerleaders. That is coming up right after this. You are listening to the Panther Pulse on 93.3 The River.
State Farm Insurance agent Joseph Chambers is a proud supporter of 93.3 The River and all things Pelham. Joseph and his staff can take care of your home and auto insurance needs, as well as life insurance. State Farm was recently ranked number 1 by J.D. Power and Associates for life insurance customer satisfaction. Joseph's office is located in the Canyon Park Office Center. His number is 205-663-3276. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At some barbecue joints, a pork sandwich is more bread than pork. Not at Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill. Their pork sandwich is packed with so much juicy pit-cooked meat, you'll also need a fork to eat it. Big portions at a not-so-big price. That's the Golden Rule way since 1891. It's the oldest continuously running restaurant in Alabama. Pork, chicken, brisket, ribs, burgers, catfish. Our menu is as loaded as that pork sandwich. Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill. In the Pelham Town Center, just a few doors down from Publix.
Coach Nick Saban.
Helping children is very important to Miss Terry and me. As parents, it saddens us to know that there are more than 5,000 children in foster care in Alabama. These children need loving, nurturing families to care for them. We ask you to join the team and become champions for children by opening your heart, opening your home, and becoming a foster or adoptive parent.
For more information, call 1-866-4AL-KIDS. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense.
Winston Churchill's immortal words stirred an entire country in the face of certain defeat. Today, these words give each of us the courage to reach for our own victories.
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never.
Commitment. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Back here on the Panther Pulse, joined now by Jean Coker as well as the two Averys, Avery Childress and Avery Gillespie. Guys, welcome, and how we doing?
Good. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you with us.
Some enthusiasm right there from the cheer stand. That's
There
it.
Well, I have been voted the most spirited teacher for the last 3 years, so,
If the shoe fits.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So talk a little bit about this group and just identity and how they're coming together here.
Well, we've got 25 girls this year, 17 on varsity and 8 on JV. It's been a tough couple of years with COVID and everything. It's been tough on all sports, but especially cheer. Great group of girls, hardworking girls. We went to Auburn this year. We were able to go to camp this year, which was awesome. We did really well. We placed second in all divisions, so we were very pleased with that outcome. So they worked really hard. They've been working very hard. We're going to continue. We hope we can go to competition this year. Don't know what that's going to hold for us, but hopefully we will.
So what does that look like as of now? I mean, everything we kind of just will see.
Yeah, I've learned to take each day as it comes. I tell everybody we have to go with the flow. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And it's like, I know last year I kept saying to the football players, I kept saying this to the cheerleaders, Letterman, everybody, I said, look, every Friday night that we get to go out, it's a good thing. I mean, we don't know when this is going to all shut down. So we took every Friday night that we had last year, and we were thankful to be there. And it was just a blessing to be able to have a normal football season.
Now, I want to ask some things just specifically about Friday night, because that's my memories of Friday night. This is a former Letterman here talking, just to throw that out there. She misses me. I know she does.
Yes, absolutely. So, I say the number one thing I remember about you guys.
My parents are here.
Yeah, well, the number one thing I remember about you guys was the year that we had gone to a playoff game, and I don't remember where it was, but it was so cold. And when I say cold, I mean, I think that it was somewhere in the wind chills of teens. And these boys were still painted up, and they were still shirtless, and they were out there cheering on their team, and it was cold.
That's the Pelham way right there.
That's the Pelham way.
I'm still mad about a fourth down measurement in that game. I remember it very clearly. It's fine.
These are the things we remember. Avery, what's this year been like for you, and kind of, one Friday down, and do you kind of adopt the same mindset of take every day as it comes?
I mean, for us, I know that a lot of us feel lucky to just be out there again and not have to worry about having masks and just kind of taking it as it goes. I know this year's a little more of a normal year than last year, which we're all thankful for. But I'm just excited for the group we have. We have a really good group of girls, and they're all really wanting to improve and be the best we can be, which is good to have in the squad.
So I got to know this about the mask. How do you deal with having a mask when your job is to be loud and to call out to the crowd? I mean, what was that like for you guys?
It's definitely hard. It's hard for people to see your smile and all that. You have to learn how to smile with your eyes, and you kind of scream a little harder for it to get through, and sometimes people don't hear you, but, we kind of just tried to make the best of it and do everything we could to keep our school safe, but also have them have a good school spirit.
And I want to ask again about those Friday nights before we got sidetracked, but how much more fun does it make it for y'all and the cheerleading squad when you actually can look up and you see a filled up student section or those a good active group of Lettermen? How much more fun does that make Friday nights for y'all?
Oh, for us, we love it. We have a good group of Lettermen this year. I know kind of the past few years we've kind of struggled getting a good number of Lettermen, but we have some really committed Lettermen this year, and it's been super fun. Our crowd's been a lot more involved this year, and I think the student body as a whole is just a lot more excited for football season.
Yes, it's always so encouraging just to look up and see the big crowd, and that really gets us going to cheer louder and do better, and it's always great to just have that support for not only us but the football team as well.
What is your dynamic with the Letterman? We do have former Letterman here, but what's that like for you guys and how you guys collaborate and work on a Friday?
Having the Letterman is a lot of help, and it's also a lot of fun because they're kind of the ones that get the student section going. And we try to coordinate with them what cheers we're going to do and what chant we want them to call. So they really work hand in hand with us to just really get the crowd going.
All right, let's set the tone here. Friday night, crowd is dead. What do you guys do to maybe fire them up and turn that around?
We do have a few of our favorite cheers we like to do that kind of get them going, especially Big Green Machine. If you've been in our student section before, that's one of our fan favorites. But the Lettermen really help, especially when it comes to that. They kind of get the crowd going, and they kind of even if we're losing, they try and get them in the right mindset to keep encouraging the team all the way till the end.
All right, so just walk us through, what you're looking forward to the rest of the senior year and, looking ahead with the uncertainties and stuff. What are you most looking forward to about this year?
I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of the football season. I know we have to kind of take it as it comes, but I know a lot of us are looking forward to walk across the field on senior night and all that, and so we really are looking forward to that, and especially basketball season. A lot of our girls haven't experienced a normal basketball season all cheering together, and since last year we were split up, so it's just going to be nice cheering with everyone, hopefully, and especially looking forward to homecoming game and all sort of traditions like that.
Yes, I'm looking forward just to going to each and every game and every event that we have and hopefully performing at a pep rally, because that's always a lot of fun.
Do y'all have a preference between cheer competitions or those Friday nights? What do y'all enjoy more?
Friday nights for sure.
Same here. I love football games.
Yes, it's a ton of fun just getting to cheer and just the big crowd that's there in the student section.
Especially just like tailgate and all that, kind of getting involved with the student body and then cheering them on throughout the Friday night. I think it's just a really fun dynamic.
As y'all look back on your time at Pelham, what makes Pelham so special and what does it mean to you guys?
I think for me, it's the student body. I've never been like a part of people who are so accepting, and I know a lot of schools, like we were talking to another school yesterday, and they were like, y'all are probably the nicest like students we've ever met. Like y'all don't try and put other teams down, and you don't try and put each other down. Like y'all all really just work together and have a really nice student body.
Yes, I agree with that. And Pelham's just such a nice place. I feel like everyone really comes together for certain events and just common goals, like a football game, for instance. Everyone wants to be there and cheering on the team. And I feel like Pelham supports all kinds of sports. Like everyone always goes out and tries to go support sports or the band, just everybody. And I think that's what makes Pelham Pelham.
The term family gets thrown around a lot, but I think it really does apply at Pelham.
Now, I won't hijack this cheer section too much, but I am going to get back to the Letterman because this is what I do. I have prepared questions. I went back, actually. Well, I expect big things from y'all, okay?
The Lettermen are running the live stream.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go, there we go. Now, I did have a question that I went to some former Letterman and asked if they had anything to ask you tonight.
Uh-oh.
And there was a 2009 alum who said, what year was the best Letterman and why was it 2009? Because, I think you might guess which one it was. But do you have a year that you look back on that, not necessarily favorite, I won't make you choose that, but that really stands out?
I always go back to that very first group, we go back to the very, very, very first group, and that group, when they came to me and said, will you be our Letterman sponsor, I remember looking at them and thinking, what in the world am I getting myself into? But they were so persistent, and I finally looked at them and I said, if you follow my rules, and they said, well, what rules are they? I said, whatever I decide they are, then I will do it. And I'm thankful that I have all these years. I don't have a favorite, but I will tell you there are days when I sit and I look at those pictures on my wall and I look at those boys and I wonder, where are they? What are they doing? And I love to hear from them, that's for sure. See them at a football game. A lot of times they come back to visit, and I'm thankful for that.
We'll get a group together and we'll go paint up sometime.
There you go. We need to do that. Absolutely.
And then, Justin, you had a question down here. I thought it was a good one. You were going to ask what makes a good Letterman. I was waiting for you.
Oh, my goodness. I think just the enthusiasm. I mean, because you have some kids, and this is what always amazes me. You'll have a kid that's extremely quiet in class, and you think, and then they'll come out for Letterman, and you think, okay, they're not going to make a really good Letterman. But they blow the socks off being a Letterman. They are the most enthusiastic. They are the most into what we are doing. They are the ones that are constantly, how can we get better? What can we do? They're the craziest. They're the ones that are the loudest. So I think all of those things are what make a Letterman good. I mean, their main job is to lead the student section because those players are looking for that encouragement. They need that encouragement, especially when the times are tough out there on that field. That's when they need us to get behind them and inspire them. And so that's what I think Letterman try to do along with the cheerleaders and the fans.
That Pelham family.
That's right. Absolutely.
Dean Coker, the Averys, thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure to chat. Coming up, we wrap things up with a preview of Friday night's matchup with Oak Mountain. Coach Causey is back with us when we return here on the Panther Pulse on 93.3 The River.
It's easy to trust a business that's got good history. Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill has been cooking up good eats since 1891, when the first Golden Rule opened up in Irondale. Golden Rule has been one of Pelham's most popular go-to spots since 1980. Whether you want a pork sandwich, slab of ribs, or a feast tailor-made for tailgating, Golden Rule is ready to serve. Good food with a good history. Golden Rule Barbecue and Grill in the Pelham Town Center, just a few doors down from Publix.
State Farm Insurance Agent Joseph Chambers is a proud supporter of 93.3 The River and all things Pelham. Joseph and his staff can take care of your home and auto insurance needs, as well as life insurance. State Farm was recently ranked number 1 by J.D. Power and Associates for life insurance customer satisfaction. Joseph's office is located in the Canyon Park Office Center. His number is 205-663 3276. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
She knows a hollow from a double up. She does snapbacks, backsides, shoots the curl. Bethany Hamilton knows everything about surfing. She just didn't know about the shark. But just months after the attack, and with only one arm, the 13-year-old surfs again. And now she's ripping it better than ever. So next time life puts a little fear in you, just think of Bethany Hamilton hanging 10 on top of a heavy wave. That's real courage. Pass it on.
From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
And back here from Golden Rule Barbecue as we start to wind down here on the Panther Pulse on 93.3 The River. Also got a shout out, didn't even mention at the top, we are streaming on Pelham High School Productions YouTube channel, so go subscribe there and you can stream every week. Shout out to Roy Gonzalez and Sean Irwin bringing us that. Joined again now by Coach Causey as we look ahead to Friday in Oak Mountain. This is always hard fought. It's always physical. Again, we talked with the players, no region implications, but just sort of talk about what this one means to both schools.
Well, I think it's a big game for a couple of reasons. One, proximity. Obviously, we're pretty close to them. And 2 years ago, Oak Mountain split off from Pelham, and that's just the way it is when you got people that your parents work together, you grow up together, you go to church together, and I think that always makes that game tough. And you want to win that game. You want to have bragging rights over your buddies. And last year was a close game. 2 years ago, they got the best of us pretty. They whipped us pretty good. And the year before that, we had whipped them pretty good. And, they got a great football team, and they're so explosive on offense. Other night in the game with Chelsea, it's 13-13 halftime, and they scored 5. Oak Mountain scored 5 touchdowns in 9 plays. The next 9 plays of the third quarter, and Evan got loose 2 or 3 times, and 2 different running backs, long runs, and so they're very explosive. They got number 10 and a little slot receiver that can flat go, and obviously Evan Smith's a really good player, and he wouldn't be going to a Big Ten school. And their offensive line plays so hard, and defensively they're the same way. They don't make a lot of mistakes, man. They're great. The D-line's great with their hands. Their box players are really good. Their linebackers and defensive front are really good. Number 7, I can't think of the kid's name right off the top of my head, but it seems like he's been playing at Oak Mountain since I've been at Pelham.
Same with Evan Smith. I mean, he's been there.
Yeah, Evan. Yeah, well, I think both those guys started since the 9th grade, and they're a really good football team, and they're coming off the best season they've had in a long time, and kind of like us. And I think they got a lot of momentum after the second half of that ball game Friday night. So we can't start the game the way we did last year. We've got to come out, and I'm not saying we got to go down and score, but we can't go 3 and out 5 times in a row against Evan Smith and those skilled guys they have. They'll make a play. And I talked to our defensive coaches Sunday about that we got to try to contain those suckers, but they're going to get their plays. So we can't lose our mind when they do. And I don't know if anybody defend them all year long.
You mentioned being familiar with a lot of these guys. I mean, you've seen them for years. You were there, played against them the last couple of years too, but it's a different offense now.
Yeah.
It's a completely different style offense.
Well,
do you throw things out the window? Or?
No, yeah, because here's the deal. They're in a different formation. Let's put it that way. Because, Coach Bell was veer, inside veer. They're running zone read, which if Coach Bryant came back today and you showed him that play, he'd call it inside veer. So they're doing it out of a different formation. The ball still starts with number 9, and they're still trying to get the ball in his hands on the edge. So it's different when we have to defend it, obviously, because it's different formations. But it's the same. You better contain 9. You better make sure that you're sound everywhere across the field, because their RPO and that ball's coming out. And instead of it being a dive quarterback pitch, it's dive, Evan, run, throw. And so you're still defending the triple option. It's in a different package.
Is that easy to get across when you're watching film, especially of their game last week, to try to get across to your defense?
Well, it is, because just about everybody in America does that now. So everybody's RPO, you got to defend that first, and then play the box and try not to give up the big play and make them go another down. If we can screw with his reads a little bit, maybe make him make a mistake. And then offensively, we've got to play complementary football. We've got to be able to have drives take the ball down the field, drive it down the field, and not give it to them in a hurry.
Are there any points of emphasis from last week as far as cleaning up, without giving too much away, that maybe you're looking for this Friday?
Their coaches know. They see the film. Obviously we got to eliminate turnovers. We've got to stay on blocks a little better. Our backs pads at times got too high running the football offensively, and we had three penalties, linemen downfield on throws, which we had completions on, big completions on. That we've got to do a better job of that. And the O-line coach is going to get fired if you don't get that right. And I say that joking because I'm the O-line coach, man. I don't want to fire myself, but that's on me, and I got to get that corrected. And defensively, we missed some tackles in the hole. We had a couple of big-time third-down conversions by them that we had a guy just a little bit out of place. Hopefully those things get cleaned up, and we got to do a better job in the kicking game, man. We missed a lot of tackles on the kicking game, and some of that is we don't do it live in practice because, again, we ain't got so many players. And so we're going to work those special teams, but we're never going to do them live because, to me, that's the greatest chance of injury in a game. That's a wide open cover down the field. I would be happy if we went to, what was that old league they did here in Birmingham a few years ago where they kicked off and everybody's 5 yards apart and you couldn't attack each other until he caught the ball. I love that, man. That'll eliminate you worry about head injuries and player safety. Let's do that. But, so we got to clean all that up.
And with the Oak Mountain game, you talked a little bit about the meaning behind it and everything. But when it is a non-region game, how do you can you go into a game like this and try not to put too much pressure on it, but still also hype it up?
No, because in the way the HSA rule book reads, every game is huge. If you have a two-way tie or a three-way tie, then those wins over people like 7As or 6As, same classification or above, that could be the difference in being, all right, third place or first place and fourth place. So every game's big, and I think it helps you build momentum into the next week. And so if we go out and it's not the end-all, be-all, the year we won a state championship, we were 12-3, and we lost the last regular season game of the year, which was a non-region game, to our biggest rival. And then we ripped off 5 in a row. So, it is what it is. It's our next-door neighbors, and we want to go win the ball game. But I don't think you put too much emphasis on any one game. I don't mean to say it that way. We want to win them all, but it's a long season, man, and we want to play 15 weeks. And so is game 2 really going to affect us in the end of November? We don't want to be our best football team in the third week in August. We want to be our best football team at the end of the season. And Old Mountain's the same way. So, but we want to win all those games. I don't know if that answers your question or not. You don't want to it's not the end-all, be-all.
I think that's the answer that I was really looking for. I look back, Ms. Coker actually brought it up earlier. That really cold game was a game that decided Pelham's playoff fate, and it was non-region. Just because that was a three-way tie. It put them from the third place to fifth and out of the playoffs. So, that's right.
Yep, so you never know. So we every game is big, and it's big because it's the next one. I know that's cliche, but if we're truly getting better every day, it's big because it's the next game. And I didn't think we played real well last year in the first half, and we may or may not again Friday. I don't know. We'll know that by then. But I would really like for our kids to be able to play 48 minutes. And then whatever happens at the end, I'm good with. We're good. If it's another 28-21 game or whatever it is, I'm happy.